The light you carry. Brothers and sisters, today we are not here to discover something new. We are here to remember something eternal. Not a new gospel, not a new doctrine, but a way of walking, a way of living, a way of carrying what has already been given to us through Christ. This is the way of quiet light. And through what has taken shape in the keeper's lantern, we are beginning to see it more clearly. The light is not something we visit. It is something we carry. It is not limited to certain places or moments or people. It is given, and once received, it remains. Jesus said, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." So this path is not about chasing light. It is about learning to live as those who already have it. And if we are honest, the world does not make that easy. We are surrounded by noise, voices telling us what to fear, what to believe, how to react, and how to feel. And in the middle of all that noise, it becomes easy to lose awareness of the light within us. But Scripture gives us a picture. Elijah stood at the mouth of a cave, waiting for God. A mighty wind tore through the mountains, but God was not in the wind. An earthquake shook the ground, but God was not in the earthquake. A fire roared before him, but God was not in the fire. And then came the whisper, a still, quiet voice. And that is where God was. The way of quiet light teaches us something simple, but not easy. God does not compete with noise. He waits for stillness. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is not emptiness. It is the place where we begin to notice what has been there all along. To walk in the quiet light is to become still enough to hear, still enough to notice, still enough to remember that God has not left us. And then there is the matter of our emotions, because we live in a world that tells us either to suppress them or to be ruled by them. But Christ did neither. He wept. He felt compassion. He felt anger. He felt anguish. Yet emotion never led him. He remained anchored in the Father. And that matters for us, because emotion is not the enemy, but it is not the authority. Fear may rise, anger may come, grief may settle in the heart in ways that feel heavy, but even there, the light has not left us. Peace is not the absence of emotion, it is the presence of Christ within it. The world teaches us to hide our weakness, to cover it, to deny it, to pretend we are stronger than we are. But Scripture tells us, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." And that means the moment we stop pretending may be the moment grace begins to move. The moment we say, "Lord, I cannot carry this alone," is often the moment we begin to understand we were never meant to. Weakness becomes a doorway, not for shame, but for grace. Not for breaking, but for being held together. And then we look at the world around us, and it often feels unsettled. Relationships strain, families struggle, nations rage, and sometimes even our own thoughts feel restless. But chaos does not mean God is absent. Scripture reminds us, in all things, God works for the good of those who love him. Not only in what is easy, not only in what is peaceful, in all things. The quiet light teaches us that even in chaos, God is still at work, shaping us, refining us, forming something within us that can hold steady. So instead of panicking, we learn to trust. Instead of reacting, we learn to listen. Instead of being carried by the noise, we return to the light. And then there is the way we live with others. Because people often chase power without truth, or truth without mercy. But Christ carried all three. Truth that confronts, power that restores, mercy that heals. When these fall out of balance, something is lost. Truth without mercy becomes harsh. Mercy without truth becomes empty. Power without either becomes harmful. But the way of quiet light calls us higher, to speak truth without cruelty, to show mercy without losing what is right, to carry strength without needing to prove it. Jesus said, "Whoever wants to be great among you must be a servant." And so we learn that greatness in the light is quiet. It is steady. It is faithful. It shows itself through love. We all carry things: fear, shame, resentment, exhaustion, old wounds that return in quiet moments. And Christ came for this reason. He has sent me to proclaim liberty to the captives. But that freedom does not always arrive in dramatic ways. It comes through truth, through grace, through surrender. When something is brought fully into the light, it begins to loosen. And over time, the weight lifts, the hold weakens, and the chains begin to break. And what begins to take shape is something different, a different kind of person, not loud, not performative, not self-focused, but calm in conflict, steady in difficulty, gentle in spirit, faithful in service, clear in truth. This is what it means to carry the light. Not just to believe in it, but to live it into our homes, into our work, into our hardest moments, into the lives of others. Because the light was never meant to remain hidden. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Darkness will press in. It will whisper. It will try to wear us down. But the light has not left us, because it was never ours alone. It is Christ within us, the Spirit sustaining us, the Father guiding us. And when we walk in that light, we are not alone. So when the world feels dark, let us ask where we are being called to carry it. Lord, teach us not only to see your light, but to carry it. Make us still enough to hear you, honest enough to surrender, and steady enough to trust you. Walk with us through what feels uncertain. Shape us through it. And loosen every burden we were never meant to hold alone. Make us people who carry your presence quietly, faithfully, and without fear. Let your light be seen in how we live and how we love. May your flame remain within us, steady, unshaken, and alive. The flame remains. Amen.